Good, great evening to ya. It's your girl Key, and tonight I will be talking about expression of what is repressed. And the reality is, if we don't express what we repress, if we don't express what we bottle up, then there are going to be a whole raft of consequences for us. So that's where you may think you're in control. Good night, Auntie Bev. How are you from Barbados? Are you want to go live? It says go live with Bev Marshall. I can click you in if you want to. Let's go live. There, actually, I'm not too sure how to do it. Shall I give it a go? Auntie Bev, you coming live? Let's see. And as you know, Kate, your girl Kiki. Yes, Fran, getting well soon. Get well soon. How are you? It's your girl Key, you declined on me, huh? You declined. It's all good. It's okay. It's your girl Key. I'm here. I'm talking about the reality. The uncomfortable reality is for so many of us. Kareen, good evening, my girl. No, Auntie Bev. Auntie Bev, you have always been so vocal. I'm inspired by you, but I understand going live can be a little bit different. It's your girl Key. I'm here today. As you may or may not know, I am a psychotherapist. I'm in private practice, and I'm passionate about helping people to truly live their best life. The reality is, though, hey, I beg you lot, please share this, because I'm trying to share it on my phone and do the talking, and it's very difficult. I wish my assistant was with me, bless her, but she has a life. She doesn't do these kind of late hours that I do. But if you could share, I would be most grateful, because I'm trying to get to my timeline and all of that stuff, and it's a bit tricky. It's your girl Key. I'm here to tell you some uncomfortable truths. You know, I come from a good place. I want what's best for people, you see, but the reality of us, so much of you have bought into this whole positive psychology business. So you got your memes and your quotes, and you read them every day, but the reality is, for many of us, we're incredibly sad. And the reason why incredibly sad is because some of us have repressed and stuffed down much of our sadness. And it's your girl Key with the inconvenient truth. What you repress will find a way to be expressed. And when what is repressed is expressed, it can astound you in the ways that it comes out. And I don't know about you, but I like to have a certain amount of self-control, because, well, the opposite of not having self-control would be to be out of control, or to have others control us. And I don't know about you, but I ain't a puppet for nobody. Them days are long over. Give me a like, give me a heart if you know what I'm talking about, because it ain't easy out here. However, life is good either way. So the challenge is, for many of us, sometimes what we do is we sweep things under the rug. Give your girl Key a heart and the like, because these are some very uncomfortable truths. Sometimes we avoid situations. We don't want to face them full on, so we avoid them. However, what we avoid will have a habit of coming back with a veracity that will astound your own self. It will astound your own self. So there is a massive benefit to taking responsibility and beginning to articulate what is difficult for you. What I have come to know over the many years that I have been helping people, whether it's in Wormwood Scrub, when I was volunteering for Mind, or as I've journeyed with Key for Change, and the many lives, the many people that have come across my path, is that if you don't find a way to express your frustrations, your hurts, your disappointments, it will have a way of expressing itself that is not in your control. Sharp Pink, big up the pain into purpose, family. It's good to have you on board. I'm talking about the importance of being able to express what hurts you, because the reality is, and I see this more and more and more, please share this video if you know someone that would benefit from it. I'm talking to the people that have got physical symptoms things like IBS. Some of us, it will come up in, we might clench our jaws. If you might have bruxism, you might go to your dentist and your dentist has recommended a mouth guard. All that is about repressed stress and tension. Yes. And I don't understand how come the dentists aren't always talking to people about like stress, because stress impacts on the body. We also know that you get things like cold sores. Cold sores are also related to stress and a build up of repressed emotions. So we need to be thinking about, how do you begin to express the pain, the hurts that happen to you? Because what you don't express will have a different level of control over your life. It will impact on your relationships. It will impact on the quality of your life. Now, if you have any questions about what I'm talking about, if any of this speaks to you, Sandy, you love my shirt. Thank you. Marks and Spencer's. I think I've reached that age group. You know, you wanna wash it and you don't want it to bubble. So I'm a big fan of Marks and Spencer's. Key, what's your stance on shadow work in terms of repression? And can working on it turn into expression? Well, the reality is shadow work is the way to go, Shah. I'm just reading a book. This, you know what? I think I'm going on a book frenzy again. But the shadows is exactly where you need to go, because it's the parts of our personality that we ignore, that if you can begin to bring your shadows into your awareness, it doesn't have the same power over you. You know, I've worked with enough people to understand that actually the shadows is where we need to begin. This is called the dark side of your personality. This may well be why there is often so much resistance to people coming to therapy, because they're scared about what they may discover about themselves. But the reality is, it's often worse in your own mind's eye than it is in reality. We need to be conscious of that. If you have a tendency to sweep things under the rug, if you have the tendency to ignore the writing that's on the wall, then this is highly likely to impact on your well-being. Yeah, you may think you've handled it, but the reality is it will have no problem handling you. And this is one reason why, your girl Key, I don't play. If things hurt me, I find a way to express. Now, outside here at the Key for Change Head and Mind Quarters, you'll see I have lots of books. These are about journaling books. I'm sorry, people, but there comes a time when we need to put pen to paper. Yes, we need to get off the device and we need to write down the things that are troubling our spirit, the pain, the frustration, the things that are hurting our heart. Because when you bottle things up, as I said before, many a time, you know, I call that emotional constipation. And so often as well, if you've been seeing any of my posts on polyvagal theory, you'll also know that bottling things up can also become a part of shutdown. Now, if you have anxiety, we know that anxiety can often be interlinked with trauma too. So be mindful, if you're going to your doctors and they're focusing on the anxiety, get yourself to a good psychotherapist. I may know one or two or three here at Key for Change. Big up my psychotherapist crew. And we can help you to understand how your trauma, past traumas, past hurts are coming into your present life and sabotaging you. This is how we sometimes sabotage ourselves. Some of us think our enemies are in our device. I'm here to tell you, some of the enemies you have are looking at you in the mirror. Sometimes you are your own worst enemy. It's your girl Key. I'm here. I'm going live. It's after 10. What questions have I got here? I got a hey, Auntie Bev is on board. If anybody would love to go live with me, if you want a question answered, if you've got a curiosity about, I'm in awe of you and so proud of you. Thank you, Auntie Bev. Thank you, Auntie Bev. Sharp, pink, sharp. My dentist tells me all the time, clench my teeth. Clenching teeth is often about stress. And I think it's important that you begin to think about, I would say, do an audit of your life. If you go to my book, Why Love Hurts, talks about the importance of doing a phone audit. For many of us, you can find usually the source of your anxiety and stress in your phone. It's usually the people in your reader list. It's usually the people at the top of your WhatsApp messages list as well. You got to watch out for those. But it's not only people. You also have to be mindful of situations that are not helpful to you. Situations and people that trigger off anxiety, that is important insight. You need to pay attention to that, because that is an example of a stressor. And I don't know about you, but because I'm trying to live out here, live my best life, I am very good at noticing what my stresses are. And in the end, I manage them, because I'm not letting stresses manage me and keep me at a certain level. If you want to elevate with your life, if you want more for yourself, give your girl Key a heart, because we got to learn how to understand and overcome this stuff so we can live our dreams. I know you guys have dreams. How do I know you have dreams? Because I know that when we are depressed and sad, it's often because we are not in sync with our greatness. There's a potential in you, and the reality is, as long as we're depressed and we're sad, we are not going to have the energy to bring our vision for life. I wouldn't be sitting here today if I was stuck, still depressed on certain individuals who were not good for my spirit. The reality is, back then, that's where I was. And I have used the adversity of the painful situation to assist me to change my life. You see, you have to use adversity for your benefit. You have to find the uncomfortable life lessons in your adverse experiences to use that as fuel to propel you forward. Now, the reality is, if you don't find difficult life lessons in adversity, I could tell you exactly what's going to happen. You'll get bitter. You will get full of resentment. It's as simple as that. You'll get bitter and you'll get full of resentment. And that is not the way to be becoming your greatest self. That's going to hold you back. You're going to become a Lonely Mildred, a Debbie Downer. You know, those people who emit an energy that make you want to walk wide. We call them people, give them a wide berth. You have to give them a wide berth because they're not good for your spirit. Wide berth them people, and we have no shame in that. We must self-care. Some of us out here are being too kind and polite, and we're sitting in excruciating pain with people who are often awful to us. We need to overstand. Some people will not like you, they will not respect you, and you can bend over backwards like a gymnast, and they do not care. It's for us to take up ourselves and vacate. For some of us, our absence will have more value than our presence. Why? Because people take you for granted. And often, a lot of us get caught up in a battle of trying to prove to people our value and worth. Your girl Key no longer does that. I don't try and prove my value and worth to nobody. When I see that they don't value me, I take away myself. Let's keep it cultural. We're going to be culturally sensitive tonight. We take where we self, because we have to know where we matter and where we don't. A lot of us, what keeps us sad and stuck is because we want to change people's opinions of us. Not good for your health. It's not good for your health. Mrs. Kathy Mason, big up the IKEA crew. Shah Pink, Bad Girl Book, Why Love Hurts. It's your girl Key. I'm here at Key for Change. It is just after 10. I know I do talk a lot. If you have any question about repression and expression, please feel free to ask me. I'm here to tell you that what you repress will cause you stress. And I know we're fearful of expression. I know that we can become, well, often we don't quite realize anyhow. But your girl Key, I'm passionate about helping people talk to me, innit? Run it by my earlobes. As you know, I also offer a fact-finding call at no cost. It's no cost to you. I'll get my head around your situation. And depending on what it is, I might encourage you to take certain steps and so on and so forth. In addition, if you've been to my website and if you're like, oh, I can't afford one-to-one therapy, I think it's out of my price range, then why not think about coming on the Pain into Purpose course? It's the best I've got. It is the solutions. It's what I see, what hurts people time and time again. So I've taken all the key themes that come up again and again in therapy, and I've created a course called Pain into Purpose. So we look at what the issue is. I'm going to show you how you get stuck, but your girl Key is also going to show you how you get unstuck. And we come together, we have accountability, so you're no longer alone. Because for so many of us, we are fighting our battles all alone, and shame and pride has us mute. And let me tell you something. You see, shame and pride that keeps you mute, that results in repression. Repression means the pain doesn't get expressed. Now, what doesn't get expressed, where does it go? When your pain does not get expressed, where does it go, my people? I will tell you where it goes. It ain't got nowhere else to go, but it goes back on into you. And it's one of the reasons why so many people have physical symptoms that often have psychological roots. I'm here to tell you straight. I'm here to tell you based on the wisdom and the insights I have been gifted with from the many people who've come to see me at Key for Change. Here we go. Kim, letting my feelings come out was a massive game changer for me. All thanks to you. I don't even know what to say to you, Mrs. It's big time love, big time love, big time love, big time love. I'm most moved. Kareen, I would love your advice. Well, sign up for a call. I'm going to put a link here, and hopefully I should have my water. I must always have water when I do it live, because you know I go in. Corinne, go to my Key for Change website, and if you go to the website, you'll see that there is schedule a fact-finding call. Schedule me in. I'm here to tell you, guys, my diary is getting busy, and so I think I'm getting to a point soon where I'm gonna have to have a wait list. I'm not saying that to gas people up so you can run and sign up. I'm saying to you it because I'm telling you the truth. Yeah, so have a look, go to Key for Change and sign up for a 15-minute fact-finding call, and I can tell you within 15 minutes I could probably tell you what the issue is and what you need to do about it. Okay, how can I get on that Pain into Purpose course? So Pain into Purpose course, Pain into Purpose starts in November, Claire, and we do it the first Thursday, every Thursday for 4 weeks. And we also have an accountability group, because I know that you guys can't do it alone. I never got here by myself. I've had accountability. So Pain into Purpose, like I said, is bringing you the solutions. And you can probably tell from my lives, I keep it super real and I give you all I got, because I know too many of us are stuck. We're doing the same old thing. We're going round in the same old cycle. And I can tell you exactly why you do it, because you're playing safe. You're playing safe, and well, the reality is you ain't gonna grow in your comfort zone. In it, Sharp Pink, you've got to step out. Step out. Sometimes we need hand holding. As you know, your girl Key didn't get from IKEA checkouts to where I am today. I've had people hold my hand on the journey. I've been mentored, supervisors. I've had therapy. I've had coaches. Big up my coaches who are watching. I thank you all for the love and for believing in me. Sometimes my coaches and my mentors have had to believe in me when I didn't believe in myself. It's at those times I was grateful I had the wisdom to invest in myself. And so I am here to tell you, there comes a point sometimes when you have to take your money and pay for good, and pay for what you need. Some of us, we're waiting, we're hoping. Sometimes we have a lackluster experience. The challenge is sometimes you just got to go private. It is the way it is. It is the way it is. And it's one of the reasons why I work for myself, because I felt that if I would have stayed in the system, I would have been squashed, become something that wasn't really true and authentic. And if you know anything about me, then you'll know that I believe authenticity is the key to living your best life. If you want to live your best life, you've got to find and discover who you truly are. This is just one of the reasons why so many people are sad, they're depressed, because they don't know who they truly are. Some of us have been told negative things about ourselves. Some of us have been told we'll never get further than there. And you know what's happened? It's become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Some of us feel uncomfortable when we start to move up here because we're exceeding low expectations that were made for us. So you know what happens when we rise up above an expectation of us? We start to sabotage ourselves. Why? Well, you'd have to tell me your particular story for me to tell you why you sabotage yourself. But if you truly want to live your best life, I'm here to tell you that self-sabotage is something that you have to grow aware of. The small and seemingly insignificant ways that you screw yourself over. You may have seen my recent video about the need to have a block party. Some of us need to clear out the device. Some of us ain't truly got anxiety. We've truly got people in our phones who make us anxious. Sometimes when you block them, you'll realize, oh, my anxiety has disappeared. Why? Because some of those people are not good for you. However, you don't like that kind of information and you think you can do things on your own terms. And so you crack on and you go forth. And in the end, this is why I'm here to tell people uncomfortable truths. You make yourself ill. We do it to ourselves. Your girl Key is here to tell you a whole different narrative about your life. Very different from your traditional. And I tell you what, I think we are in a place where we need to hear something different because the main narrative don't cut the mustard. How can I get on that Pain into Purpose course? My girl, I'll send you the link. I've attached it here. Hopefully I can pin this comment. It's your girl Key. I'm here tonight. I'm taking, if you have any questions, as you may or may not have worked out, I could chat all night. But if you are curious about yourself, or if you ever catch yourself, this is one to always watch out for. If you ever catch yourself, you know, you're down, you've been feeling down maybe for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months. You ever catch yourself driving? You ever feel like you want to crash into the barriers? Any of you ever had that where you just felt like you just wouldn't want to end it all? It's time to get help. Yeah, it means that whatever's going on in your life, it's just gotten too much. Yeah, the cup runneth over. And usually when the cup runneth over, there's typically a lot of things that you are doing that feed into your situation. I will help you to understand what you are doing. And one of the duties I believe has been put upon me by the Most High, depends on, but that's my belief, is my duty is to help to explain to you what is going on. I find that when I explain to people what is going on in their life is incredibly helpful because humans, we like to make sense of situation. Often you don't quite understand, and that's the problem when you're isolated and you're alone. You're not bouncing off of anybody. And let's be honest, we're some serious times now we're in. And some of us, we're pushing down a lot of uncomfortable feelings. I'm here to tell you that you need to find a way to let those feelings out. Find a way to find a voice, because that is often the crux of the problem, suppression. And when you suppress your stress, I'm here to tell you it will find a way to be expressed. It's one of the reasons why people find themselves crying uncontrollably. If you ever found yourself in situations where the tears just come down at all these inconvenient times, you didn't even ask for them, you're like, why am I crying? Like, what's happened here? I'll tell you exactly what's happened. You think you can outthink your emotions. Yes? You think you can outthink them, or you think because a certain amount of time has gone by that you've mastered your emotions. Let me tell you something. Your emotional self has no shelf life. Emotions will stay for years. Yes? And they could be triggered by all manner of things in your environment, smell, sound, a song. Yay, come on, man. Some of us have heard some songs and gone time traveling way back. We are complex human beings. Your girl Key is here to help you to understand what the hell is going on in your life. I'm here to tell you that your life can change. However, it just means they might need to make some different choices. It's your girl Key. Here we go. Sharp Pink. Do you reckon that the ego can suppress to the point that expression can be difficult? Do you reckon that the ego, well, do I think, it depends on the nature of the ego. I guess what I would think about that in relation to the ego's suppression is you need a damn good therapist to help you to work that out. So obviously if someone's come to therapy, they already are aware that they need some hand holding, some support, some sense making out of their situation. So it would mean at some level your ego would not want you to come to therapy. So it's highly likely your higher self and your lower self is going to be in conflict, because your lower self is going to be saying, don't go to therapy. You don't need to go and chat to them people. You can sort it out yourself. What's wrong with you? Only mad people go to therapy. Your lower self might be saying things like that, might be chastising you, fear-based statements. A higher self is a wisdom-based self. It supersedes the ego. So I would suggest if the individual's made it to therapy, by that time, they already are potentially making a choice from a higher self. If we're looking at it from that perspective. Sharp Pink, big up the Pain to Purpose graduates. Looking forward to seeing you all for accountability this Wednesday. I want to know what you've done about your dreams. I want to know what's blocked you and how I can assist you to begin to move forward, because we truly want to live our best life. Lockdown or no lockdown, we still got to be taking steps to fulfill our dream. And I'll tell you another reason why people are depressed and sad is because they don't have a dream or a vision that they're feeding into. No, they don't. So what are we feeding into? We're feeding into the fact that there's 2 blue ticks and the person ain't got back to us, and we're losing our mind. We are losing our mind over low frequency, low level stuff. And when you lose your energy to low level, low frequency stuff, what does that mean? It means your energy isn't being channeled into something more purposeful. How do you think your girl Key for Change got from the checkouts at IKEA? I had to start thinking about what I did with my energy. Some of us are still harboring up anger and ill feeling for people that violated us from yesteryear. Listen, some of us have got to get in the now. You got to stop living in the past. What's done is done. The reality is, what are you going to do about it? Scrap that. Bigger question. What do you need to learn from it? Because people can only abuse us if we allow it. That's my philosophy, although it does depend on the situation you are in. So don't start shouting at me. I know certain lifestyles are very complex. I get it. But ultimately, we do make choices. It's your girl Key chapter. I am here tonight talking about the importance of expression. Now, I am a psychotherapist, so obviously talk therapy is one of the many ways that I help people. But there are alternatives to talk therapy. Dance, you know that there's dance psychotherapists. Big up my colleague Natasha, who's a dance psychotherapist. Finding ways to express our pain through body movement. This is wisdom. My peeps, you ain't getting that on the NHS. Some of us, we got to take our money and pay for a good service, because there are alternative ways. There are alternatives to medicine, because I also know you guys are informing me that your doctors are quick to give you a prescription, yet no one's talking to you about talk therapy, or you feel very disgruntled and frustrated about having to be put on the wait list, or you find it very frustrating when you're having to do CBT on the computer. Yeah, CBT on the computer indeed. But hey ho, it's your girl Key. My repression turned to expression through anger and irritation. Well, you have to work out. Thank you, Rafario, for that. I appreciate that. My repression turned into expression through anger and irritation. Well, the challenge about anger and irritation is, I don't know about you, but expression of anger can have unintended consequences. I'm a fan of anger. I think anger is a very true emotion. You don't question when you see someone who's angry, you're in no doubt, innit? That person's very angry, so it's very true. However, I know for myself, my angry self is not my best self. It can often cause me problems, and we ain't going into that one. So you have to work out whether you are comfortable to express yourself through anger and irritation. If you are, that's fine. But if you have a problem with that, or if expressing yourself through anger and irritation has caused you a raft of problems, then you may need to inbox me. Let's have a conversation. Because sometimes I like to come from my wisdom head. It's not always great for me to come from my lower levels. Wisdom head can be a very different way to express yourself, because anger can have unhelpful consequences. And we know that that may damage relationships. Maybe some of the relationships you have may need damaging. However, if you find that a problem, do let your girl Key know. Feel free to inbox me. Good evening, Claire. Thank you very much for putting up the pain into purpose link. I appreciate you. You know I love you. Sharping, I already know that my birthday gift is to myself. Time for me, Sharpink. Exactly. Listen, there is no shame in going in to understand what is happening in your outside world. Go within. I am a psychotherapist, so I already have a bias, which is inwards. People who do the kind of societal thing want societal change. As a psychotherapist, I believe in individual change that then ripples out to have greater consequences, so you can change others, well, inspire others to change. Sharping, I need to hold it down on my anger. Sharping, our anger is very interesting. I always think of, when I think of anger, one of the analogies I often use with clients is thinking about the Incredible Hulk. Look, he's trying to be Bruce Banner, isn't he? But people just won't leave him alone. They keep pushing his buttons, they keep pushing his buttons, and there you go. Like I said before, the challenge with anger is it can have a raft. You know what? No one's a Marvel character here, are we? Yeah? No one's an Avenger. Yeah? The reality is, if your anger takes over you, or at worst, if people push your buttons so that they make you angry and they make you sabotage yourself, you need to be careful, because you're giving away your power. I don't know about you, but I don't like giving people away my power. You may need to think about that. You may need to think about, is that helpful for me? Anger is often a result of disrespect. And so sometimes, especially with the expression of anger, what I always think about that is your current level of anger, so say you're angry at somebody in the now, today, is that anger appropriate, or is it disproportionate for the disrespect? Now, if you're cutting off, I don't know, cutting off someone's hand or harming someone, or I don't know, let's say you're smashing up your car, is that an appropriate reaction? If your reaction in terms of your anger is disproportionate, then the root cause of your anger may well lay in your past. And this is one of the reasons, and people don't like it, you may have to go back to move forward. That might mean we have to have a little look around in your past, how you were treated, how you were loved, if you weren't loved, and so on and so forth, because it's highly likely that the roots of your anger, especially if your anger is disproportionate to the infringement, it's highly likely it's going to have roots in your past. I'm sorry, I'm a psychotherapist here. I'm not here to pretend and tell you everything's going to be pretty and in 1, 2, 3 you're going to have it all sorted. That's not what I do. We do the work so that you can find the root cause, and then you can sometimes grieve, and grieving promotes a healing. You need to be mindful of that. It's your girl Key, psychotherapist. I'm a bit thirsty right now because I'm talking a lot. If you've got any questions, anybody want to go live with me? Anybody want to ask me a direct question online? Feel free. I'm inspired by Judy Love's going live. Here we go. I need to hold it down on the anger. DBS. You know that DBS is keeping a lot of people under control. Big up, Shah. You make me laugh. Rufano, definitely need help. It's become an issue. Rafario, what I would say to you is inbox me and schedule an appointment. Let's have a conversation. Let's get to understand that, because anger can have lasting unhelpful consequences. You know, sometimes there's just a different way to be, and sometimes you can move beyond anger. You can definitely move beyond anger. Firstly, I would encourage you to begin to start to build a relationship with yourself, so you begin to express your anger. It sounds like your anger is going to be coming from somewhere else. That's my hunch. Never spoken to you yet. So it's important that you go back to get an understanding of where the root cause may lie. Sharp Pink, reactive or proactive? I know which one I prefer. Yeah, being proactive is very empowering. And one of the things I've learned, the more I've had control over my own anger and rage and fury, let's be real, none of us are perfect here. Don't be pedestaling people. It's not good for your mental health either. Is the more that I've gotten control over that, is the more disheartening it's been for people who used to press me buttons. It's very interesting when they try to press old buttons, but I've deactivated them. How did I deactivate them? Because I took my hard-earned money and I went to see my therapist, big up Tinu Thomas, who helped me to understand where those feelings of rage were coming from. Now, you know, we all have the propensity for anger. However, we don't want anger to be controlling our lives. We don't want our anger to be sabotaging our jobs, our careers. Some of us have needed to say sorry as well. Yeah? Some of us have got a little bit too much pride and we don't want to say sorry, so we make our pride stay away. Some of us need to reach out to somebody. Some of us need to apologize. But because of your ego, you stay stuck and you get stubborn. Big up the people, them who are stubborn. Give your girl Key a heart if you one of them stubborn, unnecessarily difficult folk. Yeah, I don't see no hearts. A lot of those people don't tend to like me anyway. Sharp Pink, Judy Love, that's where I knew about you on her live. Straight follow. Big up. You know what? Doing Judy Love's live has been really, really, really beneficial to me. So I'm grateful. I have got, I had a lot of love from that Judy Love. And it was interesting. I was sitting there late at night and I saw it on and I thought, let me just click on. And there you go. You know, I had to I think the thing is, when you're authentic, you don't have to worry about you just are yourself. So, you know, all I did was be myself, and I'm glad that it resonated with you. Glad that, you know, you're a Pain Into Purpose graduate. It's your girl Key. I am here. I'm a psychotherapist. Just a quick live talking about what you resist, persists. That's a quote from Jung. Jung is all about shadow work. Sharp Pink tonight was talking about shadow work. I'm not here to get into theory with people because I don't believe it's helpful. My duty is to understand the theory and then to make sometimes complex theory understandable to people. My years working in prison helped me to learn how to make complex theories understandable, because it's not helpful to people to just be talking long-windedly. I don't find it helpful. My duty, I believe, is to help you make sense of your experience. And I could tell you something. When you make sense of your experience, like, that's why I do that. That's called the aha moment. And the reality is, I know a lot of you guys are thinking, oh, I'll see a coach, don't want to see a psychotherapist, don't want to go back. Some of you need to go back to move forward. Some of us have had difficult childhoods. And the reality is, your inner child This is called inner child work. If you want to Google that, go Google that. Your girl Key knows what she's talking about. Them books ain't there for show. Inner child is often what is controlling you. So your past hurts is unconsciously controlling your adult behavior. This is just one of the creative ways I assist people to understand their life situation so ultimately they can make different choices. It's your girl Key. If you've got any questions, please do let me know, because I think it's time I go home. I'm passionate about helping people to understand their life situations. But most of all, I really want to help you to move beyond the pain. None of us want to stay stuck in pain. I want to help you understand your pain and also the life lessons you need to learn from it, so you can stop being mediocre, that you can start to become your authentic self. And I know if I've done it, then I believe we all can do it. However, the challenge is, how much are you prepared to invest in yourself? For so many of us, we give away to others so abundantly, yet when it comes to ourselves, we fight this fierce resistance. Why is this? What is that about? I can tell you what that's about. Schedule a call, let's have a conversation, or if you're ready to do the work, if you want to go beyond the talking, sign up for the Pain into Purpose course. Let's make it happen. Why not invest in you? We ain't got nothing else to spend our money on anyway. It's your girl Key, psychotherapist. I'm here to tell you, if you don't take care of you, who's going to look after you? The reality is, you have to have your own best interests at heart. For so many of us, we have given abundantly to others, and we have naturally, potentially, assumed that we would give and get back. Some of us have got nothing back. We've looked and all we can see is their head back. And that is very hurtful. That hurts like hell. Big up Aretha Franklin on the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack. One of my favorites in my darkest days. I played that song to death. Anyhow, for some of us, we need to learn that we have to learn to be our own best friend. No one is coming to save you. You have to learn to take care of yourself. It's your girl Key. If anything I have said has touched you, inspired you, and you want to take the conversation a little bit further, inbox your girl Key. Let's schedule a fact-finding call. Remember, you got to learn to be your own best friend. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. Too many of us are hurt because we didn't get a return on our investment. We loved, we gave our all. And what did we get back? Pain, frustration, hurt, let down. The reality is, it is what it is. We can't stay stuck. If we stay stuck, we will stagnate. And if you've ever walked past stagnant water, you know it ain't too fruity to be around. Yes, life happens. Difficult situations happen. It's our responsibility to learn from it, heal from it, and move on from it, and let them see us. And we just get that dirt off your shoulder. But that's a whole nother story, probably for another live. If you like what you see, share with a friend. It's your girl Keeley Taverner. I'm out. Take care of you, because if you don't, no one is coming to save you. You must learn to be your own best friend. Take care.